John Wick Chapter 4 brings the Keanu Reeves fronted action franchise to a fittingly bloody conclusion, but does John get to walk into the sunset? Let's find out what happens in John Wick Chapter 4's ending. Despite their spirited efforts, the High Table has little luck trying to stop Wick. After John kills the table's elder in the opening scene, new John Wick villain the Marquis de Gramont punishes Winston for his failure to stop Wick by destroying the Continental and murdering faithful concierge Karen. After Winston Marquis blackmail Wick's former friend Kane into joining the chase too, if Kane refuses, his daughter will be murdered. They then send a gifted, ambitious tracker dubbed Mr. Nobody after John, and John Wick Chapter 4's ending is set in motion when Winston proposes that John challenge the Marquis to a good, old-fashioned duel, which the latter must accept. According to the High Table's customs, after a misadventure in Berlin, where John renews his ties to the Ruska Roma and takes down Scott Adkins' High Table senior killer, he sits with the Marquis to hash out the duel terms. A pistol duel at sunrise at Paris's Sacré-Cœur is decided upon, but the Marquis appoints Kane to fight in his place. If John wins, he'll be free and Winston's hotel will be rebuilt. If he fails, both he and Winston die. The Marquis has no intention of playing fair either, and Chapter 4's finale is a non-stop barrage of car chases, gun battles and fistfights as every assassin in Paris is called upon to collect on Wick's $40 million bounty before he can reach the Sacré-Cœur. With some surprise help from Mr. Nobody and Donnie Yen's Kane, John just about reaches the church on time. He and Kane duel across 3 rounds using single-shot pistols, and both wound each other badly. Seemingly on the verge of death, the Marquis swoops in to deliver the kill shot on John, assuming that John's gun is empty. However, John didn't actually fire in the previous round and shoots the Marquis dead. John Wick Chapter 4 closes with Clancy Brown's The Harbinger declaring John and Kane free. The latter bids John farewell, while the gravely injured Wick requests Winston brings him home. John then sits on the church's steps, thinks of late wife Helen and dies. The final scene sees Winston, John's dog and Laurence Fishburne's Bowery King at Wick's grave, where he's buried next to Helen. In a post-credit sequence, Kane reunites with his daughter, unaware Rina Sawayama's Akira is approaching with a knife, seeking vengeance for Kane killing her father Koji earlier in the story. And if you want to see the post-credit scene explanation, link is in the suggestions. So guys, first question arises, is John Wick really dead? At the end of John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick Chapter 4 features the titular assassin's most grueling battle yet, making his death in the final moments all the more surprising. His demise feels somewhat abrupt, since his gunshot wounds in the duel don't appear to have hit any vital organs, but considering the sheer amount of physical punishment he endures in his race to the church, including being run over by multiple cars and falling down countless steps, it's not such a shock. Chapter 4 makes it appear John Wick Chapter 5 won't happen, which had previously been announced alongside the 4th entry. The 4th entry wraps up Wick's arc in a satisfying way, and offers arguably the most impressive set-pieces of the entire John Wick movie franchise. That said, it feels like it offers wiggle room to bring the character back. It's entirely possible Wick passed out from his many wounds during his last scene, and decided it would be better if the world thought he was dead, than risk further reprisals by the High Table or other assassins. For now, audiences can assume John truly is dead, but there's enough ambiguity that a 5th outing isn't entirely out of the question. So guys, let's forward to next question. Why Mr. Nobody didn't kill John Wick? Shamir Anderson's Mr. Nobody is a fun new addition to the saga, and spends Chapter 4 chasing after Wick, but without ever trying to kill him. That's because he's waiting until Wick's ever-increasing bounty reaches a certain threshold, and uses his borderline supernatural gift for tracking the assassin down to broker a sweet deal with the Marquis. Anderson's killer doesn't ultimately cash in, however, as during the final act Wick saves Mr. Nobody's loyal dog from certain death. When it comes time to kill Wick, the tracker can't take the shot and instead sits back to see how the Kane-Wick duel unfolds. This is the character in movie, which is quite interesting. And if you want to know about this character, the video link is in suggestions I button. So guys, now come to movie's post-credit scene. Will Akira kill Kane in John Wick? The post-credit scene of John Wick Chapter 4 suggests Akira is about to claim revenge on Kane, but it cuts before confirming the kill. Kane might be blind, but he displayed a knack for sensing imminent danger throughout the sequel, so it's doubtful he wouldn't notice Akira's presence when she's closing in. The previous John Wick sequels all ended on cliffhangers, so perhaps this final moment is testing interest in a potential spin-off, where Kane and Akira become reluctant partners. If further John Wick spin-offs must happen, a sequel fronted by Yen and Sawayama sounds like an intriguing concept to explore. Now guys, we are coming the future of this franchise. John Wick 5, spin-offs and future explained. Despite being announced alongside the fourth film, it appears John Wick, Chapter 5 is also dead. The latest sequel closes with the assassin's death, and while a character being deceased has never stood in the way of Hollywood demanding sequels, it seems both Keanu Reeves and Chapter 4 director Chad Stahelski are ready to move on, at least for now. The franchise itself is far from over, with 2 upcoming spin-offs on the horizon. The first is The Continental, a prequel miniseries, set in the 1970s detailing how young Winston became the manager of the hip New York hotel, frequented by assassins. Despite originally being produced by Starz, the network later sold the prequel to Peacock, and it's set to premiere sometime in 2023. The second offshoot is Ballerina, which follows Ana de Armas' dancer assassin, who briefly appeared in John Wick, Chapter 3 played by Unity Phelan. This Len Wiseman-directed action thriller is set between the third and fourth entries, with de Armas Rooney seeking vengeance for the killing of her family. Series luminaries will fill out the supporting cast, including McShane, Reddick and Reeves himself as Wick, with the latter and Rooney confirmed to have a major fight scene during the story, which is gonna be on some other kind of level. So guys, that will be all for today. And if you like this video, just click on like button and don't forget to subscribe for more future projects. Thank you for watching. We will meet again soon.